All right, what's Gucci fam? GoofyRhexxi here. Hope everybody is doing well this week, and welcome guys to another beginner series recap video. This week is week number 26. So I know I did a video last week, and I usually say, hey, every other week we'll do an update now, but some good things happen and some things that I feel like it's good to update you guys on right now. I know a lot of you guys were wondering, hey, what's going on with your Dark Dimension 2 run? How far are you in Dark Dimension 2? So wanted to provide that update, and then also some other things here with some of the campaign nodes that we were able to successfully get done. So wanted to talk about that as well. Why not? Why not, right? So first and foremost, we were able to complete Dark Dimension 2. As a matter of fact, we actually just completed it. Well, when you're watching this video, for me, it's yesterday, but when you're watching this video, it's going to be 2 days ago. So just keep that in mind. So we would have already started our second run of Dark Dimension 2 here. We were actually able to one-shot all of the nodes. Now, granted, I didn't do it all in one day because that's literally a lot of time. We had the Black Widow event going on, and I had a lot of stuff to do on the main account. So I wasn't able to successfully do everything every single day, but with the comp that we had available, we were able to one-shot every node. There was a slight update in our roster here with some of the Dark Dimension 2 characters that we use. So I'll show you that. As a matter of fact, let's order this now by... We can filter this out by gear tier level, right? Let's do that. All right, so in terms of gear, in terms of who we use, so we obviously, remember, we started off with Baron Zemo, we started off with Kestrel, Silver Surfer behind my big old head, and then Symbiote Spider-Man and Minerva. Those are the characters. And I was kind of flirting with the idea of bringing in Mr. Sinister, but then we got kind of lucky with getting enough gear to be able to bring in Ghost. And Ghost was really sort of like the MVP, or I would say the last missing piece of the team that we needed to go into the final couple nodes here for Dark Dimension 2. I will say this, the comp between Ghost, Kestrel, Silver Surfer, Symbiote Spider-Man, and Minerva was absolutely golden. There's so much control in those matchups. The offense down, being able to extend negative effects with Symbiote Spider-Man, and also being able to extend those negative effects with Ghost. Ghost also being able to reduce speed bar. There was just really a lot that was going on there. Minerva always coming in clutch with the heals. Symbiote Spider-Man clutch with those stuns, disrupts from Silver Surfer, ability blocks. Of course, Ghost extended those. There's so much more. Kestrel, a beast, right? Really fairly easy to get through the content then. Now, I will say this, man, I do feel kind of bad for players who started off a little bit later on than I did, who probably won't have access to characters like Kestrel, won't have access to characters like Silver Surfer. I will say this, that there are other options that are available. Ghost is still going to be a viable option for you if you haven't gotten your hand on Kestrel or haven't gotten your hand on Silver Surfer. Ghost, Zemo, Minerva, Symbiote Spider-Man, if you can wait to open up those milestone orbs until you get him, and Mr. Sinister will still be able to get the work done that you need, and hopefully you can get better stars on them, because keep in mind, I am playing this account very free to play, so the stars that I have on these characters aren't very high, but was able to get the content done that we needed to get done. So we're going to be going back into our Dark Dimension 2 run here over the next couple of days. Same thing, probably do like a node or two a day. That's pretty much basically how I'm going to be cycling through it again. And you know, we did get Ultron. We haven't invested into Ultron yet. Once we do get him to 7 stars, we'll start putting some minor investment into him, maybe bring him up to gear tier 12. I think we're pretty close also to being able to get a red star on him too, from opening up our red star orb. So maybe looking forward to that also at some point in time. But let's talk about some other things that are going on in the account right now. So remember, we got to level 70. We were able to get through the campaigns, well, some of the campaign nodes. The biggest one being Hero 7. We beat Hero 7-1, which means that we were able to then go into Villain 7, and then we were able to go all the way through at least the Hella node, where we were then able to 3-star the Hella node. So I'm not going to go over that again, but just kind of a quick recap, which means that we were now able to start off the Nexus campaign, and we needed to make sure that we finish off the Nexus campaign to advance to the Doom campaign. But let's talk about the Nexus campaign and our progress there where that is concerned. So able to get through, we finished all of the nodes, and as you can see here so far, we were able to 3-star most of them, right? Able to 3-star most of the nodes. This one was a little tricky here, and then obviously the Thanos node, which you might be saying, why haven't you tried to go back and 3-star that? This last node here isn't Thanos important kit. You use Thanos. Absolutely you can, but where I'm at right now in my roster, there's no real specific need for Thanos, so therefore I'm kind of holding off a little bit on Homeboy until we kind of get to that point in time, right? But the biggest thing was being able to get through all of Nexus Chapter 8 because we wanted to then advance into being able to start off with the Doom campaign, which is definitely going to be a much slower process of building because we do need some characters at higher star, well, maybe not stars because we can't really fully control stars, but at some higher gear tier levels in order to be able to get that content done. But let's talk about who we use through the Nexus campaign. So the first 3 nodes, I kind of just used the strongest characters that I had available to me. There was some sort of synergy with I think I used like Kestrel, Silver Surfer, Minerva. I don't think I used Zemo actually. I think I used may have used Hela. I'm forgetting who I used for these 3 nodes, but I can talk about who I used for these particular nodes here. So kind of got a little lucky where this is concerned in this section right here, because the patch kind of helped out with this a little bit, and I'll talk about why. So for the middle section, you have Kree, you have Guardian, and then you have Asgardian characters. So obviously you guys know I've already invested into Hela, invested into Loki, invested into Thor from earlier on in the game, right? And we definitely already invested into Minerva. But what I was able to do, I actually did not use Thor. I took Thor out and I used this girl right here, Phyla-Vell, who had the Kree tag. So therefore I was able to use her in this campaign node. And I was also able to, which then also means that I also obviously used Gamora to get Gamora to be empowered so that I could go through some of that content a little bit easier. So the 3 characters, the main ones were Loki, Minerva, Hela, and then we used Gamora and Phyla-Vell and Gamora to get through the content. And yes, we were only able to 3-star 2 of these nodes, but we 3-star one of the more important nodes, which is Karnak. Although I won't necessarily be farming Karnak for Ebony Maw anymore because Yo-Yo's not available in the raid store, and Miss Marvel is, I've already been farming her. While I won't be farming Karnak, still good to be able to unlock this node because there are some resources here that I was able to farm, which actually helped me to get Ghost to gear tier 13. So the whole picture is kind of coming together for you guys in regards to what I was able to get done here. And then as we progress to the last section here, I was able to use my Brotherhood team. They're not kind of a Brotherhood / team here. I'll kind of show you. I wish it saved the comps that you use, because this is not what I use, because this would make no sense, right? I would never use Yo-Yo with other Protector characters. That would literally make no sense. So what I did use though, I did use Black Widow and Hawkeye. I used that combination there. I did use Blob, Magneto, and Juggernaut to be able to get through the content. Unfortunately, I do think that in order for this to work appropriately, I probably will need to bring up Toad in order to be like, and probably a full Brotherhood team to really be able to get through it, or just wait. It depends. It's not a pressing need for me right now to be able to complete that last node. So that's kind of the comp that we used to be able to get that done. And like I said, we were able to 3-star most of the nodes except for 3-starring this last node, which we can come back to at some point in time later on. Now for the Doom campaign, we got a little bit of a conundrum, a struggle buggle that we're gonna have to deal with here in the Doom campaign. So this early section, Doom Chapter 1, obviously the reason why we're trying to go through all of the Doom campaign here is because we need to get to this Negasonic node so that we can farm her, because she's incredibly important to be able to get Dr. Octopus. The issue is though, is that you need Hero Mutant and Hero Inhuman characters. I don't have Black Bolt, man. I don't got Black Bolt. So what is a brother finna do? So basically what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to assemble a team of my best Hero Mutant characters and best Hero Inhuman characters that I could possibly use to be able to get through this part of the content. So let's just shift back to the roster here. So we go back to the roster. When we go back to the roster here, Shatterstar and Longshot, we were able to unlock Shatterstar through RTA. Also, we just randomly get drops of shards for him through the gamma raids. So I got 50 shards from RTA, but being able to get other shards from otherwise, so it's really been fine overall. We also are building up Longshot because those two do go together. I'm hope that the stars and the red stars are a little bit concerning, so I'm gonna have to make up for that with gear. I think realistically I might have to bring up Longshot and Shatterstar to 71 and gear tier 12 in order to try to be able to get it done. I have already gone ahead and tier 4 their passives, because obviously I'm gonna need the speed and the barrier to make this work, and the healing to be able to make this work as appropriately as I possibly can, or as best as I possibly can. So those are hero mutant characters that we have available. As a matter of fact, let's filter it out this way so that I can give you sort of like the whole picture. So hero and then mutant, right? These are the options that we have available for hero and mutant. Some of them are good. Some of them are better later on in the game. Phoenix would have been a good one to use with Beast, but unfortunately we can't do that. We don't have Phoenix yet, and that's going to take some time because we're just at level 71. We just got to level 70 not too long ago, so therefore we kind of need to. We're going to have to work with what we have available to us. I thought about Bishop being an option, but Bishop is better with Jubilee. He does more damage. He can gain offense up with the special ability. He's a better character when Jubilee's there, so I don't really think that that's quite an option yet. Beast is also good, but once again, better with Jubilee there, and there's no other X-Men character that really makes sense to use. So I honestly think that the direction that we're going to be going in here is to use. We have a few ones, and I'll talk about them. Shatterstar, Longshot, and then potentially maybe X23, because X23 is a good damage dealer. She can actually help to delete a couple characters in these nodes for me. But once again, we're going to need to get them up to some decent gear tier levels in order to be able to get that done on the roster. Now, when we filter it out by hero and human characters, it gets a little bit more interesting. So let's look at Inhumans. All right, so when we look at Inhuman characters, I'm gonna flirt with a very crazy idea. So it's obvious, right? You look at these. So if you're gonna use those three characters, then try to use Yo-Yo and then try to use Crystal. Makes sense because these are the best Inhuman characters outside of Black Bolt. So this is actually like plan A, but plan B for me is this. Miss Marvel is a hero brawler. X23 is a hero brawler. Shatterstar is a hero brawler. There is some synergy there where I could get some assists, and maybe that may get me over the hump on some of these nodes. I don't know. Listen, the whole thing is I'm just trying to get through the content and get through the nodes here. Really, my hands are kind of tied, right? Without having Black Bolt, without having Phoenix, you know, the Beast combo, my hands are sort of tied a little bit here. But I do think that obviously I'm going to try to go with Yo-Yo and Crystal first. But I think that if I'm thinking about this right, Miss Marvel with those three other brawler characters may be able to help. She has a skirmisher tag on her, so she was going to be able to, at level 3 ISO, she's going to be able to clear some positive effects off an enemy team, off some enemy characters for me here. So I think that that may be a good direction for me to go in, considering the fact too that we're going to have Shatterstar, Longshot as raiders. We're also going to have X23 as a raider. They're going to be throwing some of these vulnerables out there. Miss Marvel can take advantage of that a little bit, or I can take advantage of that a little bit with clearing some positive effects, because there are some blobs in those nodes. In some of those nodes as well, there are some Kree Royal Guards that's going to make it a little bit, as I think so. Let me not misspeak. Let me not misspeak. I think for the Doom campaign, yep, Kree Royal Guard, that's going to be throwing up some taunts there. That's going to be incredibly challenging. Yo-Yo being there is going to be a problem too. Node 2, we have Blob, there's Toad. There's going to be a lot of things, guys, that we're going to have to worry about here. These are G13 characters, which is the reason why I said we're probably going to have to at least have these characters at gear tier 12. But those are my thoughts on that. The Sharon Carter event, I'll talk about that in another video here. I'm going to be running the campaign event and probably recording that and then throwing that up on YouTube. Arena team, we do need to put some investment, man, into our Infinity Watch team, but unfortunately right now we just have not been able to do that as of yet, because we've been focusing down so much on Dark Dimension 2, getting through these campaign nodes. So right now Arena has sort of been a little bit of an afterthought, and we're starting to jump out of that 250, or we're getting out of that 250 range, or that under 250 range in Arena. So we're definitely gonna have to put some thought process into there. But listen, I'm gonna end this video now because we've gone through so much information already. We've talked about so much. I've brought you into my theory crafting brain, kind of, sort of, a little sometimes, maybe sort of, kind of. Listen, I love y'all very much, man. I appreciate you guys. You guys are absolutely the best. Leave the comments down below. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to the channel, guys. Hit the like button. Also, check out the links that are down below, guys. Twitch, Twitter, all that stuff that's down below. Patreon, all that, guys. I appreciate you guys so much. Y'all be blessed and y'all be safe. Woo, man, that was a lecture and a half, wasn't it? Good God. It's a wawa.